Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here for episode number 27 of our AEW TEW series. And we continue off the back of the last episode where our AEW World Light Heavyweight Championship tournament started, and we've got a few more round one matches today. So, yeah. We've also got some other things happening. Hangman Adam Page said that he will see MJF at Dynamite, so he should be on this show, so let's hope he is. But first, Billy Gunn. He's no longer called Daddy Arse. He's retired from professional wrestling. He is just here solely as a road agent, personality, kind of whatever he wants to be, and he's made the decision to reunite with his kids, finally. I mean, it makes sense. Billy Gunn, Carlton Gunn, Austin Gunn, they're all together, but in order to make it official, Billy Gunn needs to be turned heel, and no one cares. Because he's not going to make that much of a difference. There we go. Cool. Our first pre-show match, though, is the team of Hard Rock, Juice Robinson and Chris Bay facing against TMDK. And in a match that had decent wrestling, but not much heat, Rock Hard win. They defeat Mikey Nichols with the Art of Finesse. Looking at this, Chris Bay with a 60. Nice. Go on, Chris Bay. Juice 52, which still, like, he should be getting much better numbers than this. And Mikey and Shane, no one really cares about them. We had a real issue in the last episode. Pretty much everyone who has a contract with New Japan chose to be at New Japan's show instead of ours. Hence why Will Ospreay wasn't available, along with a bunch of other names. So in this last week, I've tried to offer exclusive deals to every New Japan talent. So people like Alex Coughlin, Aussie Open, Leo Rush, Jeff Cobb, and also Will Ospreay. I've offered an exclusive contract. Will Ospreay has refused because he's loyal to New Japan. So we're just going to have to deal with him disappearing every now and then. But everyone else, I think, has or will be signing a exclusive deal with us. So yeah, but we're going to tie that Will Ospreay thing into the story, so yeah, don't worry about that, guys. But he will be an infrequent appearance, which is annoying, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. Yeah, the next pre-show match is Deonna Purrazzo defeating Sawyer Wreck in 9 minutes with the Fujiwara armbar. 53 rated match. It's fine, we'll take it. Deonna Purrazzo's quite good. I just don't really know what to do with her just yet. I'm kind of not too sure what to do with the women's division as a whole at the moment. So I'm gonna have to sit down and have a thinky poo, and we'll see what happens. And then the final segment, speaking of Will Ospreay, Tony Schiavone has announced that Will Ospreay is here tonight. He is not in Japan, and he will be defending his FTW World title in our main event. And that will be against Christian Cage, who is entitled to a rematch. 54 rated. Again, still in the pre-show, so it doesn't matter. Instead, we open the show with the top of the card, you could say, Hangman Adam Page and MJF, followed by Nigel McGuinness. So MJF and Hangman go face to face. MJF just says, I want my rematch as soon as possible. All Out was a complete fluke. You didn't deserve to win, etc. Hangman was just like, MJF, this isn't a good look for you. You know, just be humble in your defeat. You're still a top guy. You can still do great things, but I'm the world champion now, so you're just going to have to deal with it. Obviously, MJF doesn't like that because he likes to wind his opponents up, and Hangman Page just isn't having any of it. And MJF is just like, I want my rematch. I want my rematch. And Nigel McGuinness comes out and says, MJF, I already said to you last week, you will get your rematch, just not yet. You will have it in 2 weeks' time at Battle of the Belts 7, I want to say. I think it's Battle of the Belts 7. So yeah, that's right, in 2 weeks' time, guys. Friday, week 1 of October, we will have Battle of the Belts, and the main event is Hangman Adam Page defending his World Heavyweight Championship against the former AEW World Heavyweight Champion, MJF. And I have a feeling this might be MJF's final chance at the belt for quite some time. So yeah, it's a big one, especially for MJF. 96 rated opener segment, love it. These two, both of these guys on the mic, Hangman's just got better and better every week on the mic, and MJF has been, number one since day one. Nigel's just there, isn't he? Following this, though, we have our first tournament match of the night, and it's Blake Christian facing off against Trent Beretta. So in a decent match, Trent Beretta gets the win over Blake Christian and advances to the next round with a tornado DDT. This means that Trent will be facing Orange Cassidy in his next round match. So that will be one hell of a doozy. 63 overall, not bad. Blake Christian kind of got quite exciting earlier on in our series, and now he's just floating back in the kind of openers section now. But Trent, great talent. Glad to see him win this, and him versus Orange will be very interesting. Two best friends facing each other. Following this, though, we have another tournament match. It is Rami Sabai versus Kyle Fletcher of Aussie Open. And in a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Kyle Fletcher gets the win over Rami Sabai. Who saw that coming? In 8 minutes 31 with a quick cradle, catching Rami Sabai off guard and sneaking that win to advance into the next round. And Rami and Kyle have great chemistry. Ooh, that's good to see. Rami with a 70, which is pretty good for him. He normally floats around the 60s. And Kyle with a 60. 64 overall, not the best, but Kyle Fletcher advances to the next round, and he will be facing... Hold on, I've got the tournament here. He'll be facing the winner of Matt Jackson and Adam Cole, which will be next week on Dynamite. Following this, we have another match. It is CM Punk teaming up with another one of his Bullet Club Gold members. Last week, I believe it was Jay White. This week, he's with Keith Lee, and they are taking on the Guns. And in a decent match, CM Punk and Keith Lee got the win in 10 minutes when Punk made Austin Gunn go to sleep. In terms of rim work, Punk was head and shoulders above everyone else. Fair enough. Keith Lee, 71. Pretty good. Colton and Austin have got great chemistry. Billy Gunn did good work at ringside and has great chemistry with one of his sons, not the other. And yeah, CM Punk looked good out there. So that all sounds quite good. But then you go over here and you see the 65 and you think, what the bloody hell is that? But hey ho, I guess Punk and Jay White are a better team than Punk and Lee. Interesting. CM Punk seems to be fitting in quite nicely. 2 wins out of 2 with his Bullet Club Gold boys, but he still doesn't look 100% happy with it all. Again, this was very much Keith Lee letting Punk do most of the work, cleaning house, and then, letting Punk get the finish as well. So yeah, we head backstage now, and we've got Renee interviewing Jade Cargill. And Jade Cargill just says, TBS title is old news. I'm not about that anymore. I am 100% focused on winning the big one, the AEW Women's World Championship. And I know it's not going to get given to me. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to earn that title, and I'm going to be the best woman in AEW. So Jade Cargill making a big statement after being, let's be honest, squashed a little bit by Nyla Rose. So she is going to have to earn that shot, and she's going to have to work bloody hard to get to it, because I'm not giving her a shot until she, genuinely deserves it. So that could be a while if we're going based on Jade numbers. We stay backstage now, where Orange Cassidy congratulates Trent and says, guess I'll be seeing you in the next round. And Chucky T's there as well, being like, come on guys, let's, bit of rivalry, friendly competition, we're all still best friends, right? Puts his arms around Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, and in comes Ron Killings out of nowhere and just goes, that's right, best friends. And he gives Orange Cassidy a little kiss on the cheek, pats them all on the back and walks off. And Trent, Chucky T and Cassidy are all a little bit confused about Ron Killings just inserting himself as another best friend, I guess, which I'm not mad about. I mean, this is quite a fun little foursome if you ask me. But yeah, Ron Killings has got a new hot catchphrase. We still don't know what MJF's is, but Ron Killings now has one too. Love that. We're heading back to the ring now in some singles action, and it is Kairi defeating Saraya with an insane elbow. So that is Kairi's, I think that's the WWE name for it, but Or Kairi Sane is her name. Yeah, we'll give that to her. Insane Elbow. Kairi over 67. Nice. Saraya over 56. Not so nice. Saraya not doing very well without her Outcast teammates, who seem to be doing quite well because they seem quite happy and they're in winning ways without her. So poor Saraya. Looks like she needs people around her to, one, be good, and two, win matches. But 68, that's good. I think that's the best match of the night so far, which is mad. But yeah, great win for Kairi. I feel like she's going to get better and better as the weeks go on, and she's someone who, you know, could be a contender for the Women's World title. Following this, we got a backstage segment where Jon Moxley accepts Chris Jericho's kind of backwards challenge to Wheeler Yuta and the Combat Club, saying a battle of the belts, more than happy for you, Hager, and whoever else you can, join us in the ring and get beaten down. But I guess that's only if you can find someone that even wants to team with you, because given your track history, Chris, not many people like you. So very kind of confident, cocky promo here from Jon Moxley and the Combat Club, just saying to Chris Jericho and Jake Hager, yo, you're more than welcome to come and challenge us, but, you know, you're going to lose. So that means Chris Jericho has his title match against the Combat Club, more importantly against Wheeler Yuta, but he needs to find a third person to team with him and Jake Hager. So he's got less than 2 weeks now to find, just over 2 weeks to find a third person. I'm sure he'll be able to. You know, Chris Jericho's not hated by everyone, is he? Is he? We head back to the ring now with our third and final tournament match of the night. It's Ricky Starks facing Alex Coughlin. And in a decent match, 57, that's not decent, Ricky Starks defeats Alex Coughlin with the spear. Ricky Starks is dog shit in the ring. Like, I don't get it. Him, Adam Cole, who else? Juice Robinson. Their stats probably should be a bit better, if I'm being completely honest. But he gets the win nonetheless. Alex Coughlin out of the tournament, and he progresses to face the winner of Nick Jackson and Swerve Strickland. So he could be facing one of his New Wave members or team members in the next round. But that round, that match, Swerve versus Jackson, is next week. But yeah, Ricky Starks advances. Soz Alex. And then post-match, Ricky Starks just grabs the mic, and this is the numbers we should be seeing from him, and just says it's my time to shine. Like, for so long I've been, you know, touted as one of these, you know, next big things, big stars. He goes, I know I'm a star, I'm already a star, and this tournament is going to prove just that. So big words from Ricky Starks. A lot of other people have kind of just won and moved on. This boy wants to run his mouth a little bit, so very interesting to see how far Ricky Starks can go in the World Light Heavyweight Championship tournament. We now head backstage because while Ricky's been chatting, you know, running his mouth, Alex Coughlin has been greeted by MIRO backstage, you know, because they are teammates. And MIRO just expresses his dislike in the light heavyweight world title, saying that, you know, it's excluding a large number of great wrestlers and performers in AEW. And now he says, as TNT champion, he's vowing to only give the heavy guys, the big guys, title opportunities. So all of you little men in this competition, you don't have a chance at facing me and my TNT title. Not so sure if MIRO can make his own rules for the belt, but we'll let it slide for now. Seems like he's only going to allow and give opportunities to the quote-unquote bigger guys in AEW. So that means Coughlin won't have a shot. I mean, not that he deserves one. But that should be interesting to see who steps up and who MIRO accepts when it comes to challenges, because with Battle of the Belts coming up, he is going to have to defend his TNT Championship, because if eligible, everyone must defend their title at Battle of the Belts, and he is very much eligible. 68 rating, not the best. But that does take us to our main event. Will Ospreay, the FTW World Champion, defending his title for the first time against the former champion and owner of the belt, Christian Cage. Let's see how it goes. 75, nice. So in a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Will Ospreay defeats Christian Cage in 19 minutes 49 with the Stormbreaker. During the match, though, it was a bit crazy. We had Lance Archer run in and attack Christian, and we also had Luchasaurus run in and attack Ospreay, and the two of them just collided outside of the ring a number of times. Will Ospreay makes his first defense of the belt and gets an 81 performance, which is pretty good. Christian with a 65, not the best, but you know, it'll do. And 75 rated match, decent. So that is how we end our Dynamite, with a Will Ospreay defense. Very strange seeing Will Ospreay in AEW, but don't worry guys, it's not going to be happening often, because I've looked at his schedule and New Japan have a lot of bloody shows and he wants to be at all of them. But post-match, this is a good few hours after the show, Twitter video exclusive, whatever. Christian Cage lays out one final challenge, because obviously he wants his belt back. He says, Ospreay, me versus you, no involvement. Luchasaurus is going to stay out back. You keep Lance Archer out back. Just me and you, one-on-one in the ring, one final time, because I want that belt back, and I'm taking it back. Battle of the Belts. Make it official. And I've made it official. So we will get Christian Cage one last match against Will Ospreay to get his title back. I've checked Will Ospreay's schedule. He should be available for Battle of the Belts. If he's not, then... You know what? I'm saying it now. If Will Ospreay is not available for Battle of the Belts in 2 weeks' time, then he will be stripped of that title, and it will be given back to Christian Cage. I've said it. So yeah, deal with that. But that finishes our show. Awesome, 78. I'll take that. This was a pretty underwhelming show. These first round matches, I didn't think any of them would be great, but these three particularly weren't the best, especially this one. I mean, I wasn't expecting much from this one anyway. But yes, some surprise wins, especially with Kyle Fletcher against Rami Sabai. Rami was someone that, looking at the tournament bracket itself, you'd say that he was probably one of the favourites. But he's out round one. So what's Rami going to do now? Saraya just can't stop losing in our second best match of the night. And one final opportunity for Christian Cage. We've got 3 Battle of the Belts match announcements for tonight, when you think about it. MJF facing Hangman Adam Page for, I would assume, one last time for the World Heavyweight Championship. We've got Moxley accepting Jericho's challenge, where Jericho needs to find a third member by Battle of the Belts. Otherwise, no title shot. And then we've got the one final time Christian Cage. So you've got 2 potential final times against their, the people that took their belts off them. But yeah, 78 rating. That's fine. It's above the threshold we need it to be. And let's just skip ahead to good old Collision, where, if you remember from last week, we have got the debut of Shinsuke Nakamura, and he will be facing Konosuke Takeshita in our main event. So let's not waste any more time and head over there right now. And we are here for Collision again. Just realised we need to change the logo. I'll do it next time, promise. But first, we have a backstage incident. It's been a while since we've had one. That's a lie. We have had them, but any of the ones that are just passing on tips, I'm skipping those because we don't care about that. And when it's actually a backstage incident, I'll let you know. Like right now, Sting, he may be retired, but he's still lurking around the locker room, telling people off. So what has Brian Cage done wrong? Brian Cage was brought before the Wrestlers Court accused of moaning about stuff all the time and just bumming everyone out. The judge found him guilty and sentenced him to shut up or cheer up and buy drinks for everyone after the show. Bloody hell, Sting. Okay. Small impact on Brian Cage, cool. Poor Brian Cage. He's probably not happy because he hasn't had a win in God knows how long. And then Sting tells him to shut up and buy everyone drinks. What an arse. But yeah, that's the one and only backstage incident. Just a quick one before we kick off this show. I mentioned earlier about the New Japan workers and signing them to exclusive deals. So I signed Lio Rush to an exclusive written contract, which means he can only work for us because it's exclusive, right? No, apparently not. He was scheduled to fight tonight against Andrade in his first round tournament match, but Lio Rush is in Japan tonight. Yeah, we can actually look here because there's no spoilers here. Yeah, Jeff Cobb too, and Alex Coughlin. I'm really confused because they are on exclusive written deals. So unless those don't kick in straight away, that's ridiculous. Because he's on an exclusive deal, as is Jeff Cobb, as is Alex. Oh yeah, Chelsea Green just signed her. So there is a spoiler here. Yeah, she's on the way. Yeah, it's baffling. It's annoying. So we're going to have to play around with that. Again, I think I'm going to give him an ultimatum. If he's not here by next Collision, he's out of the tournament. Same as Will Ospreay. If you're not here by Battle of the Belts, the belt is no longer yours, because I don't want to be balancing my stories around this for people that aren't going to be available. So yeah, rant over. Let's get into Collision. Okay, before we jump into the pre-show, had a quick thought. With the kicking Lio Rush out, I say if Lio Rush isn't available for next Collision, we will replace him with Sammy Guevara. I think that's fair. Cool. Alright. It's done now. We have a debut in our pre-show, but still it's a debut. Ashley Blackheart is here, and she is facing off against Riho and gets the win in 11 minutes with the Fright Night. Ashley Blackheart with a 41 overall. Not very good. I'm bringing these ex-WWE people in, and they're all a bit dog shit. Let's hope Nakamura is not in the main event. Riho with a 59. Ashley debuts her punk gimmick and gets a rating of great. Awesome. I do feel like over time they all get better. Like Rami's starting to put in proper numbers, so give them time, Ted. Give them time. 52 rating. Nice. Our next pre-show match is High Five versus El Hijo del Vikingo and Buddy Matthews, who was beaten up by his House of Black members last week. So he's teamed up with Vikingo today in a nice high-flying spot match, and High Five get the win. They just keep building that momentum, and Andretti gets the pin over El Hijo del Vikingo. 61 rated match. Fair enough. Darius Martin with the 64. Go on, mate. Buddy with the 63. Vikingo with the 66. And Andretti, the worst, with a 53. Cool. Our final pre-show match, in a poor pre-show match apparently, Eddie Kingston defeats Adam Brooks in 10:45 with a back fist to the future. Eddie Kingston with a 63 and Brooks with a 30. Oh, yikes. But thankfully, that's our pre-show done. Let's head straight into our main show, where we open with our first tournament match. It's Wheeler Yuta facing off against Pac. This should be a good one. Oh, and a good one it was. 81 rating, I will take that. So in a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Wheeler Yuta gets the win with the Yuta lock. And it looks like it was thanks to John Moxley running in and attacking Pac. So Pac probably did have the upper hand, but you know, the Combat Club look out for each other, and they screwed over Pac so that Wheeler Yuta wins and advances to the next round of the light heavyweight tournament. Wheeler with a 65, Pac with an 80. Whoa, Wheeler, you need to step up, my boy. Wheeler Yuta and Pac have pretty good chemistry and lifted the match. Oh, that's nice. And it got the show off to a strong start. 81 overall. Awesome. Yeah, great start to the show. Following this, though, we have a promo from Jose the Assistant, Andrade Rush Angelistico, a.k.a. La Facción Los Ingobernables. And it looks like Jose says that they are looking to expand. What that means, I don't know. I'm assuming it means that they want to get some new members who they have their eyes on. We don't know. Is it going to be someone outside of the company, or is it going to be someone inside of the company? I guess we will have to wait and see. As you can see, there's no Preston Vance here anymore. He is slumming it in Ring of Honor for the moment. 64 overall, and the La Facción storyline has advanced. Cool. We now have a pre-match promo from Malachi Black and Brody King, who confirm that Buddy Matthews has been expelled from the house. So as of right now, the House of Black is just Malachi Black, Brody King, and Julia Hart when she returns from her maternity leave. Buddy Matthews is no longer a member of the house. And following this promo, they are in tag team action against 2.0. And in a decent match, House of Black get the win. They defeat 2.0 in 9 minutes when Malachi Black wins with the Dante's Inferno. Brody King of the 62, Malachi Black of the 64. Again, Malachi Black's another one. He should be like mid-high 70s every match, but he's not, and it's annoying. 62 rated match. That's fucking poor, that is. I'm not happy about that. Like, this is a duo that I would love to push to the moon, but when they're putting numbers like this up, why would I? Anyway, let's move on. We've got a backstage interview with Hangman Adam Page. 84. Nice, there we go. These are the numbers we want to see. He just says that he's confident about his match with MJF in a couple weeks' time. He's looking forward to just getting the job done, and he's really excited about the current crop of wrestlers that there are in AEW, and he's looking forward to just seeing, you know, who the next star is going to be, who's going to step up and challenge for the world title. So, you know, a bit of confidence from Adam Page here. He's pretty sure that he's just going to ease past MJF. Keep in mind that MJF has beaten Adam Page in the past, beaten him clean as well, so it's not going to be as straightforward as Hangman thinks. But, you know, we love the confidence. You have to be confident if you're a champion. So, yeah, 84 rated segment, awesome. And next up, we have a title match. Nyla Rose is defending her TBS title against Kacy Catanzaro. And in a decent match, Nyla Rose gets the win in 7 minutes 41 with the Beast Bomb. And this is defense number 2 of her title. Nyla Rose with a 54 and Kacy with a 47. 55 rating overall. Fine. I just wanted to give Nyla some TV time, and why not have her crush someone who's, 4'10", I think Kacy is. So yeah, that would have been fun to see, just her ragdolling her around. But following this, we have our next tournament match, and it is Hook facing off against Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Let's see how this one goes. 64. Okay. In a decent match, Hook gets the win. He defeats Jungle Boy Jack Perry by submission with the Red Rum. And yeah, Hook advances to the next round of the tournament. Do we know who his opponent is yet? No, we do not. But we do know who Wheeler Yuta's opponent is. I forgot to mention that. It is Bandido, because Bandido defeated Roosh in the first round. I think that match has been recorded. It's marked as recorded, so I'm going to assume it is. Yeah, if it hasn't. Spoilers. Following the next segment, we have another match. Back-to-back matches. And it is Britt Baker defeating Willow Nightingale by submission in 7 minutes 50. Britt with a 66. Nice. And Willow with a 52. Pretty good. 63 rating overall. I will take that. And post-match, Jamie Hayter comes out and she challenges Britt Baker. Says, I never got to thank you for everything you did earlier in the year. And just as she's about to, finish off her little promo, Hikaru Shida appears from behind and attacks Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter laid out Britt Baker in the ring, laughing, doing her thing. And Hikaru Shida just standing tall over Jamie Hayter, the woman that she beat for the AEW Women's World Championship. So yeah, still beef between these three women. And I don't blame any of them. Well, I don't blame Jamie. I kind of do blame these two. After this, though, we've got a backstage segment where Eddie Kingston, he can't keep his mouth shut, chatting shit about John Moxley in the Combat Club again, just saying that they're bullies. They can't win fairly. They use the numbers game when there's no need to. Like in a one-on-one match, it should be one-on-one, not two-on-one or three-on-one or four-on-one. And yeah, he just slags them off for a bit and says that this John Moxley, the John Moxley of 2023, is the worst version of Moxley that Eddie Kingston has ever seen. And as you know, Eddie and John have a long history as friends, as rivals, and pretty bold statement for Eddie Kingston to kind of say all this. And I can't imagine Moxley or any of the Combat Club are very happy about that. So I think Kingston better watch his back, because I'm sure something's going to happen to him soon. But following this 90 rated segment, go on Eddie, we have got our main event. It is Shinsuke Nakamura in his debut match against Konosuke Takeshita. Please be good. 75, it'll do. So in a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Shinsuke Nakamura gets the win over Konosuke Takeshita in 23 minutes with the Boma Ye. Shinsuke with a 67. That's exactly what I mean. What did I tell you guys? When these ex-WWE guys come in, their first match or first few matches are complete doggy. Shinsuke's not a 67 rated guy. He's like an 80 plus. Like Takeshita, 83. But I guess it just takes time to get used to our product. I'm assuming it's that. But yeah, either way, 75 rated match. If we do this match in 3 months' time, it will be like a 90. But awesome. Big win for Shinsuke on his debut. Takeshita, a great opponent for him as well. They have great chemistry, which amazing. I'm going to make a mental note of that and forget it in 10 minutes. But that's not the end of the show. So Nakamura and Takeshita stand up, shake hands, bow. They celebrate together in the ring after a great main event. And La Faccion's music hits. And they all come out. When I say they all come out, apparently only Andrade and Rush come out. They come all the way down to the ring. They get in the ring. And they kind of just stare down Shinsuke and Konosuke. And everyone's kind of like, are they going to fight? What's happening? And then they just put their arms up, as they do with their, their faction pose. And then they just slowly back off and walk out the ring. So who knows what that means? I don't. So Nakamura, Takeshita looking very confused as to why their celebration was interrupted. But nonetheless, it was. And it was Andrade and Rush. Maybe they're scouting some talent for recruitment. Who knows? But that is how our show ends. I'm not looking forward to this score. I feel like it's not going to be the best. 78. Oh, we just scraped it. My goodness. I think it's like 76, 77 is now our threshold. Because we just keep putting on great shows. And this wasn't the best. But, I mean, that saved us. Yeah, you can see what saved us. I don't need to call it out. A pretty standard show. We're just advancing this tournament. These first round tournament matches are really harming our shows. So the quicker we get them out the way and we get closer to the finals, the better. The women's division needs work, in my opinion. Yeah, it just needs to be orchestrated a little bit better, and obviously that's on me. Kingston calling out the Combat Club. I mean, on your head be it, my dude. Shinsuke with a decent debut. Wheeler and Pac with a great opening match. And Matthews is now out of House of Black. And House of Black are continuing their winning ways without him. So super exciting. Less than 2 weeks now, I'd say. Yeah, it is less than 2 weeks until Battle of the Belt. So next episode, we've got our regular scheduled Dynamite and Collision. And then the following episode will be a bumper episode, as always. When it's Battle of the Belts, it'll be Dynamite, Battle of the Belts, and Collision. Super exciting. Looking forward to it. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Do it all. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.